trip to France anytime soon and you're planning to see as much places as possible, you want to see Paris, you want to see south of France, here's how you should plan the whole trip. And everything I wish I knew before my trip to Paris and south of France. Hi, my name is Mel. I'm a travel content creator, and I'll be sharing all of my tips, tricks, places to see, what's worth it, what's not. On this channel, I post every Wednesdays. Now, if you're traveling from the US or Canada or anywhere else in the world, and you're looking for the ultimate Euro summer experience, I would definitely recommend going to see Paris first and then going to see south of France. Because of course, once you already got your flight ticket and everything, it would be so smart to just see as many places as possible. So here's how you're going to be planning transportation, some of the limits that you should be considering, how you should be planning the whole thing, how long to stay in each of the locations, how to pack, and what some cultural differences are between Paris, south of France, and what we're usually used to. So get ready, I have a lot to say. First off, I would definitely start in Paris first and then go to south of France, not because one is better than the other, it's just because Paris has a lot to offer. You'd be walking around a lot and maybe want to save all of that adrenaline and energy in the beginning of the trip for Paris and then move on to south of France for a little more laid back, beachy type of vacation. Now, starting off in Paris, you would need a minimum of 3 days to be able to cover the whole city. The city has a lot to offer, and then maybe up to 4 to 5 days in south of France. In Paris, when you're choosing your accommodations, I would probably go for an area that's not too close to the Eiffel Tower. I've said this in a previous video before, so definitely make sure to check that video out on things I wish I knew before traveling to Paris, just as a heads up of what to expect. But the reason I say get your hotel further from the Eiffel Tower itself is because around the Eiffel Tower, there's not much to see. Or even Trocadero, it's more of a residential area. There's a lot of scammers and pickpockets, and you'd probably be having to take the subway to get to certain locations and attractions. But otherwise, you can get it in different areas, in the other districts. Now, the districts are called Arrondissement, and you can get your hotel either in the district 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's not that one district is better than the other. Every single district has a certain location and attraction to offer. So you definitely be close to some of the major things that you'd be able to see in the city. Now, some things to consider when packing for Paris versus south of France is that in Paris, they don't really believe in wearing colors. They usually go for more timeless pieces, and I dare say even more modest pieces than south of France. So save your black and whites, monochromes, neutrals, light blues, all of that stuff for Paris. And when you head to south of France, you can whip out the flowy dresses, the colors, the tighter and maybe more open clothes. Now, if you're looking for a more budget-friendly option for transportation from Paris to south of France, I would probably go for maybe Flixbus or Bolt. Both have an app on the App Store, and you can get your tickets online. And Flixbus, I would say, is the more budget-friendly option. But if you're tight on time, I'd recommend flying from Paris to south of France. Now, if you decide to fly from Paris to south of France, one thing to consider is that there's going to be a liquid limit. And they're going to be asking you to put all of your liquids into this Ziploc bag, and whatever doesn't fit is thrown in the trash can. So definitely consider that if you're bringing big bottles of moisturizers and lotions and hair care and everything like that. It was probably the hardest thing to pack for my trip, personally. Now, moving on to south of France, I would definitely recommend choosing one city as a base and doing a bunch of day trips from there instead of changing each city, changing hotels, checking in. You'd be losing a lot of time and maybe even more money, which is not something that we want. Now, I always say this, if you watch my previous videos, you already know, but I recommend staying in Nice. It's cheaper, cheaper accommodation, cheaper food, and it's right in the middle, so you get to do a lot of day trips from there. Now, let's say if you're located in Nice, to make those day trips from Nice, if you're planning to go to Cannes, Menton, Villefranche, or even visit Monaco, which is not even that far, it would be like a 45-minute train ride to Monaco itself, consider taking the train. And to skip those lines, definitely get the app Train Line. You can get your tickets online. You get to skip a whole line, which is going to be such a blessing, especially in the rush hour times. Because sometimes the wait can be up to 40 minutes. But if you're planning to see the beautiful Es Village, definitely take the bus. It may end up costing you a lot less and you'd be saving a lot of time. I go in depth on each location and each city to visit in this video right here, so definitely check that out. for a 4-day itinerary in south of France. If you stayed this long in the video, make sure to subscribe and give this video a like. I would definitely really appreciate it. And shoot me a DM on Instagram if you want to be added to a group chat I have of a community of people who are traveling to Nice, where they give all of their recommendations based on their experiences and places they've gone to, as well as even schedule some meetups. So if you're traveling solo or if you don't really know anyone around, you'll definitely benefit from that there. All my socials are going to be linked in the description below. I'll be seeing you very soon. Happy travels.